Hello Trade Pros, it's Victor from Trade Pro Academy, and today we've got another video for you. Today I'm going to be talking about Forex, however, and MetaTrader 4/5. So in today's video, we're going to go over Fibonacci retracements and extensions in MetaTrader, how to use them, what they are, and just give you a little background on how we like to use them when trading Forex. Just before we jump into this, I want to say George previously created a great Fibonacci extension and retracement video on YouTube. It's a great background on the tool, how to use it, and it's a super in-depth video, so I suggest you guys go check it out. In this video, we're going to dive into a little less detail, but we're just going to mainly focus on MT4, MT5, Fibonacci's, and Forex. So let's get right into this, guys. Right here on the screen, you can see we have the pound dollar on the screen on a 4-hour chart. So we're just going to use this chart for our practice here. We're going to use both Fibonacci retracements and extension. I'm going to show you how to kind of configure them a little as well. So basically, when we look at Fibonacci retracements, we look at an initial move, the pop, and where we expect the retracement to lie. Retracements can be targets, or they could be deemed as support or resistance levels depending on the trend that you're looking at. Of course, extensions are generally extended moves. They could also be targets or support and resistance levels. So when you go into MT4 here, up into this little top tab, when you go to Insert Objects, you will find Fibonacci tools right here, retracements, time zones, fan, arc, channel expansion. So we're going to look at the first and the last today. If you guys want me to go over the ones in the middle, let me know down in the comment section below. We can look at that in another video, but for now we're just going to look at Fibonacci retracements and expansion. So first, let's start with the Fibonacci retracement. This could be used in both a bullish and bearish trend. So if we're using this little move, for example, here, we'll grab the bottom, drag it to the top of this move right about here, and we get a few different percent levels. So let's just zoom in here and look at where they lie. So assuming this move had already happened and we're right about here on this upward move, we can see there is resistance just from price action. It is a clear downtrend, but this could just be a pop just to run some stops, then continue lower. So these retracement tools will suggest where potential targets of this down move are, which could be support levels that we expect to hold, but again, it's not going to be 100% likely that they will hold. So let's see, the first level is a 23.6% level. As you can see, it just cracked right through it. The next level being the 38.2. Again, kind of cracked right through it. What level that did hold temporarily just beneath was a 61.8 before we pressed higher again. They aren't 100% accurate in holding, but that's where your other analysis comes into play. If you go into a smaller time frame, if we right click here, go into time frames, we go to a 1 hour. If you're looking for a more scalped move potentially, you could look at these price levels as well. On a 1 hour right here, you can see the 23.6% held slightly before breaking down. Again, 38.2 held. You could have made some money on this swing higher, but you can see once it does break, this 23.6 acts as a resistance. This is a pretty interesting tool. Again, right here held, comes back in at 23.6 before dropping. These levels are just targets used for just support, resistance levels, potential entries even. Remember, they're just one tool in your arsenal that you could use along with price action, which is very suggested. So that was just a little bit on retracements here using them in MetaTrader 5. Again, you can use them in MetaTrader 4. But if we're looking at a current move right here and we're trying to figure out where it'll go, remember we talked about on a larger time frame, this does seem like a bearish move, so we can use it to the other side actually. So if we go to Insert Objects here, we go to Fibonacci Retracements, and we grab this top, bring it down to the bottom. It's a lot smaller of a move right here. So let's just go into here, and you can see these are just really, really tight and very shallow moves, of course. So if we come into these 26, 32, 50 areas, it's going to be a very tight little range. So of course, I do recommend extending it out to bigger levels, such as this down here. And this might act as a potential retracement back into this area for continuation lower. So alternatively, if we're looking at the extension tool, which we'll look at in just 1 second, the extension tool is more of a projection of where you might think price might go in a move. Again, we've deemed that this was a bear move just for this example's sake. Grabbing this high here down to the low, projecting it back onto this high, we'll get a, let me just zoom out here, we'll get a extension level. So right now, the first extension level was hit 61.8%. Down to the bottom, we have a 100% mark and a 161.8% mark. So when you extend from the high to the low back into another high in this bearish move, you can see lower lows, lower highs. We can target levels beneath the current support. So if these should break, these are the first targets. Of course, this 100, 161.8%. So I'm going to show you how to extend these lines in just a bit and how to change the percentage. You could add more percent even below these percent as more targets. So again, guys, if we assume that this trend is actually to the upside here, we can go ahead and measure the extension of this move where we do expect price to go, projected price, which might find some resistance to the upside by grabbing this low, going up to this high, and then grabbing this low here. And we could see that a potential move might be into right here, this 61.8 move. Of course, that's the first move where resistance did hit. Up into these 100s, which is again this move to this upside right here, and ultimately these 161.8% right into confluence with this little top right here. This is just a smaller little example here, but if we do get a larger trend, if we grab onto some bigger moves, and if we assume that this will be the high, again bottom, and then right here the high, if we drag this to here, let's say that's about the high right there. The first level, the 61.8, is all the way down here, and the 100 even lower. So if it does break these lows right here, we can see an extension all the way down to the 100s, and of course we'll be targeting these 161.8% right here on this Fibonacci extension down. So the Fibonacci extension down could be seen as targets and support levels on the break lower. Again, targets on the way up or resistance on the way up. These are useful for looking at entries, maybe potential stop loss levels even, and so on. And again, guys, if you wanted to just extend these lines out a little, you know how I pulled it over here, but initially the move was right here. If you're looking at these lines right here in the middle, they don't really tell you much, so you want to extend them. Of course, we can configure these extensions and retracements. So if you go to parameters right here by right-clicking, going into properties, like you saw, if we right check it, you'll see right here they extend well. And of course, if we go back into properties, you can change the colors here. These are the levels, the description, you can add more even. And right here, go to common, you can change the style if you want, visualization, change the time frame, different time frames, and that's about it here on these settings. Again, the retracement tools work the exact same way. So that was just a little short video on how to use Fibonacci extensions and retracements, what they kind of mean in Forex. And we do have a lot more to say on that in our Forex course, so go check it out, guys. This was Victor from TRADEPRO Academy. I really hope you enjoyed this little video. Again, if you want to see more stuff on MT4 pertaining to Fibonacci extensions or how to use the general platform, just comment down below and we'll get on it. Again, ring that little bell to notify you when we do go live in our futures room every single morning, Monday to Friday.